Pons. So let's talk a little bit about some things that will help you be successful in the middle school. One huge tip we have is to use your agenda book. Your agenda book is something that will be given to you for free on the first day of school when you arrive. Inside the agenda book, you will have a copy of your student handbook, which will include the policies, the code of conduct, things like our rules, the dress code, that you can access at any time if you have any questions about the way that our school is run. Then past the student handbook, you will have a calendar as well as a list where you can fill in all of your daily assignments. You can keep track of all of your homework, due dates, upcoming projects, quizzes, any events that you want to keep track of. It's a really important tool to write all of your things down. So every night you can open up that agenda book and know exactly what your evening is going to look like. In the middle school, we have a policy where if you get 3 zeros, the teacher is going to contact home by either email or a phone call. So if you're someone who wants to make sure that you're on track and doing what you need to do, you don't want to get any zeros. But if you ever happen to get to 3 zeros, there will be contact made, even though your parents will be keeping track of your progress daily on Genesis. Let's say you might not be writing your homework down all the time and maybe you're a little disorganized. What we have at our guidance office is daily agenda book checks. And that is to make sure that students are writing things down correctly and have a nice list going to help you stay a little more organized. So that's something we do in the guidance office called an agenda book check. The one thing you want to do is make sure you're counting on your agenda book as that first thing that you're checking. A lot of students like to check our next tip, which is called Genesis, but you want to make sure that your agenda book is filled out correctly at all times, because what if there's a substitute? What if the technology piece doesn't work that evening? So let's use our agenda book, but you also want to use this awesome tool called Genesis. Mrs. Pounds talked about it already. It's going to be part of your daily routine in the middle school, both for our students and for our parents. It's going to be a routine that you have. You want to make sure that you're not checking it too much, but you are checking it to make sure that you're keeping on track of your daily and your weekly progress. It's going to have many different pages in it. One page has your schedule, and next to each teacher's name, there's a little envelope that you can click, and you can easily email your teachers. It's going to have our names, Mrs. Pons or myself, where you can email us if you have a question for your counselor. Next to it, Mrs. Pons had mentioned some teachers are going to be uploading documents. So let's say you lost a worksheet because your teacher gave you a hard copy of something. Now you can actually go in and click on that little document and you can print it out at home. It's going to have a page of your attendance, if you're late, if you're someone who wants to keep track of that. And it just allows you to stay in the loop, but it also, students, your parents are going to be in the loop too. So you want to make sure you're checking, and it's really exciting that you can take a test and that night you'll be able to see if the teacher grades it and posts exactly how you do even before you get to school. But just remember, your parents can check too. So the next tip we have is our laptops. And it's a really exciting thing for our students to have their own laptop, but just remember, it's a huge responsibility. So you're going to get your own laptop. You're going to be able to bring it home with you on a daily basis to complete any work that you have. You might think in the middle school you're going to be having these huge heavy book bags because of all those classes Mrs. Pons just named, but actually it's not like when I was in middle school where you had all these textbooks that you had to cover with brown paper. It's not like that. All of our textbooks are actually right online, and it's going to be uploaded onto your laptop. We use them for your NJSLA state testing, so our whole school tests for our state test at the same time. And laptops help you with organization, your completion of work, because a lot of teachers will upload files right on there. Well, you'll be opening your OneDrive, which is going to be a system that we use at the middle school, all embedded within your student email. And it allows you to go into all of your different classes. And you'll notice that a lot of teachers may not even use worksheets as much because that will be uploaded into your laptops. Just one thing to remember about that is that all of that will be in your student's email. And you want to make sure that your email is used appropriately and responsibly, because in the middle school, we do have a tech department that's available. They're amazing. But what they do is they make sure that all students are using their laptops correctly. the school laptop belongs to the school. So you want to make sure you're not using those student emails for anything, like emailing your friends in class or linking it to your social media pages, because parents, we do have a flagging system that does check everything that's going on the school laptop. So you can make sure that your student is using it appropriately, and we will make sure that we teach them those responsible ways as well. The next tip is to, hey, use us. We're the guidance program. You just met a lot of different faces virtually. Mrs. Pons and myself are the guidance counselors, and just because your last name ends with one letter or another, we're both here for you, as well as our social worker, Miss Nesmith. We also have Miss Paredes, who is our smiling welcome face as our secretary in the guidance office. She also speaks Spanish, so for our parents, that's very helpful if you ever would need that. So in the guidance office, you could always come to us if you have anything, but there are a lot of things that we might come to you for because we have a lot of different tasks that we do. We do status sheets, we do agenda book checks, we run academic counseling because just like you're checking Genesis, we're checking it as well. We will run parent conferences, so if any parent would like to come in and meet with teachers, we would set that up for you. We do the NJSLA state testing through our office. We run group counseling, where a lot of the times we call it lunch bunch. We have individual counseling where we meet with students on a routine basis. And we also run scheduling. Another thing we do is we push out all of those anti-bullying initiatives from our office. And to talk a little bit about that will be our anti-bullying specialist, Mrs. Pons. Back to you.
Thank you, Mrs. Raza. Yes, as many people do, I wear multiple hats. Again, I am the guidance counselor, but I'm also the anti-bullying specialist at the middle school. And one of the things that my staff and I do is work very, very hard to promote a very positive and safe school climate at the middle school. The Anti-Bullying Bill of Rights was adopted in 2011, and we have been vigorously working to promote positive attitudes, positive programs, bringing in assemblies and such. And everything we do, we don't do alone. We actually do it with our school safety team, members of our staff who volunteer to work with us to do things like come up with ideas, start with hello, perhaps something like Worldwide Day of Gratitude, or in October we do Respect Week. So we do a lot of anti-bullying initiatives, and we try to make them fun and with school spirit and to build character. We do a lot of character education lessons, and sometimes even bring in outside people for assemblies as well. So anti-bullying is, my thing at the middle school. We try to make it a very positive experience, and we also bring in a lot of positive people to share things so that we can all be people of good character.
So you've been sitting there listening to things like the academics and the classes and the tips. So let's talk about some of the really fun stuff, like how to get involved and enjoy all the different things that we have at the middle school. So one thing you can do if you are athletic and you love sports is you can try to join and maybe even try out for one of our teams. In the beginning of the year in the fall, we have girls and boys soccer. In the middle of the year, the winter, we have girls and boys basketball, as well as wrestling. And at the end of the year in the spring, we have girls softball, boys baseball, and we also have track and field. To go out for our sports in the middle school, there is a bit of a process, but it's a simple one. The only thing is we can't give you too much information on that because of the way things are right now. So a lot of these things are to be decided, and you will be getting information further about the process. But just as a quick overview, there is a registration that we do. That's done online called familyid.com. You'll be getting directions on that if you're someone who's going to be trying out for a middle school sport or joining a middle school sport. We have one step where you have to get a physical by your doctor, and we do offer physicals through the school, and sometimes that's done over the summer. Once again, can't give you that information quite yet, but make sure that you're looking out for that because it'll be coming soon. Another thing is pay to play. So in the middle school, whether you join one activity or every single activity on our list, there is a pay to play, which is $25. That's given at the beginning of the year. You would pay for that, and your student can join as many things as they would like. A lot of our information will be available through probably emails and things like that through your administration, but our website, as well as the athletic tab on the Roseville Park School District website, would help you with this information. So maybe you're not athletic and you have talents in other areas. So if you're really musical, you can join some of our musical clubs. We have chorus, handbells, we have band, we have percussion, and we have jazz band. So if you're someone who already knew an instrument in elementary school and you want to continue, that's awesome. And if you want to try something new, this gives you a chance to join one of our musical clubs. But let's say you're involved in other things and you're a little excited about some of the other things on the list. We have other clubs available for you, like art, chess club, science club, yearbook. We have newspaper. We have a volleyball club. We have a junior national honor society for our 7th and 8th graders. We have Panther Paws. We have homework club. We have Girls Who Code. We have home economics. We have yoga, and we also have student council. And it's just a lot of names, and I could talk for a really long time about each one, but you will be hearing all about that in the beginning of the school year. But I do want to talk a little bit about student council, which is a big part of where a lot of our activities come from. Our student council is made up of 10 8th graders called the Council of 10, but we need more students on the student council making decisions, and that's where our homeroom representatives come into play. Every single homeroom gives 2 students as our homeroom reps that are part of our student council so that they can talk from each of our homerooms to get some ideas into motion. And some of the things that the student council does is they run our dances. We have a Halloween dance in October. In February, we run our winter dance. At the end of the year, we have a promotion dance for our 8th graders. They also run all of our spirit days. And we do have quite a few of them, which are really exciting. Some of the favorites are Crazy Hair Day, Superhero Day, and Twin Day. And we always love watching the participation from the 6th graders because those 5th to 6th graders, you guys are super creative. So we're really looking forward to see what you come up with for all of our spirit days. And then we also have fundraisers from the student council where maybe they will do donations that will go towards the school, maybe the community, or even something going on in the country. Special events that happen for the middle school, some things to get excited over are our concerts. We have a holiday program and a spring concert. We have a back to school night, so parents in September, you will be invited to come on in. You will actually follow the schedule of your student and go from class to class and know a little bit what it's like to roam our halls and get into those classes on time. And you'll be able to meet all of the teachers. We have a day called Passionate Learner Day, where a teacher, instead of teaching, say, language arts, would teach maybe their other passion, like guitar. And so they would run guitar, or maybe they would run golf or camping. And that would be their class for the day. And that gives you, the students, a chance to make a whole new schedule for the day and follow along and learn about some new exciting things, and maybe learn a little bit about your teachers too and what they're passionate about outside of the subjects that they teach. Student Government Day is a really fun day where the students become the teachers and the teachers become the students. A little bit crazy, but it's a lot of fun. We have our talent show, we have our field trips, we have the all-school picnic at the end of the year, and then we have some things that you already do in the elementary school that we continue over at the middle school, like Respect Week, Red Ribbon Week. We have things like Start with Hello Week, school assemblies, motivational speakers that come in. So it's not all academics, even though that's really important. We also have a lot of fun at the middle school. So you might be thinking, I've got classes, I'm going to have homework, I'm going to want to join clubs. How do I know what's going on? How do I keep it all under control? And how do I know where to go? Well, really easy. Don't panic. For the students, listen to those morning and afternoon announcements. You will be hearing either our principal or our vice principal at the beginning, at the end of the day, and they will be running through all the things that are happening for that afternoon. When you walk the halls, look around, look at the flyers that are posted in the hallways. Outside of the lunchroom, we have an announcement bulletin board that gets updated if you're someone that needs to kind of see it all in the same space. Or you can even just stop by the main office because our secretaries are amazing. You can also stop by the guidance office if you have any questions, maybe about what club's meeting or how do you sign up for a band or where the next tryout is. So make sure you stop by and just reach out if you have a question. Don't just sit there wondering, reach out and ask. For our parents, you have a lot of ways to keep track of what's going on. So you can check our middle school website. You can read the daily announcements that are sent to you every day through your email. So anything that is announced to the students for our announcements will be sent home to you.